Inspiring Lifestyles and Legacies. And today I am with Professor Joseph Chisasa, who is a professor of finance at the University of South Africa, popularly known as UNISA. He is not only a professor of finance, but also my uncle, and I'm very honored to meet him after a few decades of not being physically in touch with him, but obviously being in touch on different platforms. Professor, can you say hello to our viewers?
Hello viewers, I hope you will enjoy this conversation and find value in it. Good to have you.
Thank you very much. And maybe you can just start by telling us who is Professor Chisasa.
Yeah, thank you, George, and thanks again for the opportunity to have this conversation with you and the viewers, obviously. Prof. Chisasa, born Joseph, aka Joe Chisasa, in a little district of Chiredzi in Zimbabwe. Went to rural primary school. You'll be surprised that I actually went through 4 primary schools out of the 7-year period of primary school, which is an average of 1 point something schools.
1 point something years.
yeah. So yeah. Then later on, I went to some high schools. After high school, I actually thought that I would go into a career in sciences, because my father used to work for the Department of Veterinary Sciences as a senior Tsetse fly controller. Yeah. So in my junior years, I learned that there's something called a glossinologist, who is a specialist in
wow. I'm a medical doctor, but still I haven't come across that big word.
Yes. Yeah, so I thought I was going to pick up a career in that space. But before I could do that, I was then, while looking for a job as a temporary teacher, then defined or described as such.
TP.
Yes. Your uncle Albert was part of the Gaza Commandant District Council staff. He saw me. Your brother? Yeah, your brother.
My late brother.
Yes. Yeah. Then he saw me in and out, and yeah. So apparently it happened that there became a vacancy at Barclays Bank across the road from the offices.
I remember those days. Yeah.
So they recommended me for that position at the bank, and I was invited for an interview. And of course, at that time, suffice to say that I was actually waiting for some processes that would have taken me to the United States of America to pursue a Bachelor of Science degree in forestry.
Okay.
Yeah, so while that was in the mill, I got hired by Barclays Bank at the age of 18, turning 19 that year. And so my banking career began. So I served Barclays Bank for a period of 10 years, both in Chiredzi and Norton, before moving to Harare.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the intervening period, I interacted with young men and women that were graduates of the University of Zimbabwe, that were going through the accelerated management training program. And then I realized that, in fact, I still fell short academically to pick up the same kind of opportunity.
Okay.
Yeah, because these guys, some of them are people that went through me in training and then became managers of mine.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was not so nice. So it inspired me, put it that way.
Yeah,
It inspired me to consider going back to school.
Yeah.
So in 1996, I enrolled for the Bachelor of Commerce honors degree in banking at the
Okay.
National University of Science and Technology
Yeah.
in Bulawayo, Zimbabwe. So this is a qualification that I took through to 1999. I think I graduated in 1999.
Okay.
And fortunately, when I completed, Barclays Bank took me back now as a graduate management candidate, so to speak.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was also placed on the accelerated management training program.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was a realization of a dream, yeah?
I would say,
Yeah.
First
Yeah.
dream realized, yeah.
Yeah.
So 2001, the National University of Science and Technology advertised the first cohort of MSc in finance.
Yeah.
Then I signed up for it in a group of 35. Yeah, that was the first time that Zimbabwe was offering that kind of qualification.
Okay.
And, yeah. Of course, we later on went on to graduate as a group of 20. The others fell through natural attrition.
Yeah.
You know what happens? Yeah.
That's what happens today.
So by that time, I left Barclays Bank to join a new bank called CFX Merchant Bank, which had taken over a failed bank back then called the Universal Merchant Bank.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was headhunted and joined that team. So the real stuff began in terms of banking innovation, banking marketing strategy, and all that.
Yeah.
You know what it is like when you try to sell a brand that is well known to have emerged from a failed
bank.
Yeah. Very difficult.
Mm.
So, but again, I think we did a very good job because within a very short space of time, we were already making waves in the financial markets.
Okay.
Yeah. But this is a time where the Zimbabwean economy was fast losing its grip on the global markets, you know?
Yes, sorry, Prof, to interrupt there.
Yeah.
I came across this book that was written with the title Casino Economy.
Yeah.
So was that the period of the casino economy of
precisely.
hyperinflation?
Precisely.
Yeah.
I can reflect on the time that I got a scholarship to go to India for a program on banking, finance, and risk management at the National Institute of Bank Management. That time was the time when former Governor Dr. Gideon Gono assumed office.
Yes.
The inflation rate was approximately 50%, I think. But before we knew it, it was in excess of 1,000% in less than 4 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, and by the end of the year, same year, 2003, inflation was tens of thousands.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So
and everybody became a trillionaire.
Precisely.
And everything else.
I always tell
what
people,
was going on there, Prof? What was the root cause, without going too deep into everything that was going on there? But what was the basis of this hyperinflation?
You know, when you ask me such kind of questions, I am quick to want to put on my academic hat.
Yeah.
And then express my academic freedom.
Yes, please.
I can tell you that. I can tell you without any fear or doubt that the political variable in the economy was the driver of all the inflation, because it brought about political sanctions, economic sanctions, and all sorts of other negativities that you can think about. You know.
Okay.
Yeah. So from a trade point of view, all that impacted on the cost of inputs, cost of production, cost of everything. So we pretty much experienced a whole lot of cost push inflation.
Okay.
You know, which is politically driven.
Yes.
Yeah.
Politically driven. Do you want to tell our viewers a little bit more about what you mean by politically driven?
Yeah. Yeah, Zimbabwe's political background is that it's a former British colony.
Yes.
And upon realizing or attaining political independence or political freedom or democracy,
Yeah.
came the period where government wanted to get the landless, land to the landless, so to speak.
Okay.
Yeah, Zimbabwe is an agro-based economy,
Yes.
and so most of the land was in the hands of the minority whites.
Yes.
So government went on a deliberate strategy to want to redistribute land.
Yes.
And in doing so, the first approach was to go the willing seller, willing buyer kind of approach,
Yes.
where government kind of motivated holders of land to sell to the landless, at market prices.
Yeah.
But first, there was no willingness to sell,
Yeah.
on the part of the landholders,
Yes.
and more precisely on the part of the whites,
Yeah.
selling land to the blacks. And secondly, for those that were willing to sell eventually, the asking prices were exorbitant.
For the poor black people who wanted the land.
Yes.
They wanted the land, but
Yeah.
they didn't have the money.
Precisely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And so we got to a point where we had a stalemate. We
Yeah.
were willing buyers and willing sellers, but no meeting of minds on the price.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at that point, then there was a need for government to intervene and moderate this kind of transaction. So when there was no progress, and yet the quality of life of the black majority was fast deteriorating,
Yes.
ultimately it was seen fit to forcibly reclaim the land.
Okay.
And when that happened, the Western countries imposed sanctions on the
Okay.
government of Zimbabwe.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
both
think
economic and political.
I think
Yeah.
it's been made very clear
Yeah.
to our viewers
Yeah.
what Prof meant by the political
Variable.
factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then as in about 2006, because the economy was, when we say the economy is not performing, this is now at the aggregate level, at
Yeah.
the macro level. But at a micro level, we were seeing firms, both corporate and retail, and even individuals for that matter, who are struggling to make ends meet.
Yes.
So we saw it coming because as we were interacting with the corporate sector, we found that they were also struggling, and they did not have any particular strategy to turn around their own fortunes. Yeah. So as the intensity of the sanctions began to generate this negative impact on the economy,
Yes.
a lot of companies started failing.
Yeah.
A lot of people started experiencing economic challenges, and I was not excluded. I was not immune to that.
Yes.
And because I was fortunate to have finer detail and also my ability to predict the direction of the economy, then I decided to relocate to South Africa. That
Okay.
was in 2007.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I came here, my intention was to work in the financial services sector, so to speak,
Yeah.
because that's my background, that is my profession. But
And
then,
your strength.
yeah.
Yeah.
But before I could get hired by the private sector institutions,
Yeah.
I found myself being at the University of South Africa,
Yeah.
where I was offered a position as a lecturer on a fixed term contract.
Okay.
So I had a dilemma there of whether I must resign from my permanent position back in Zimbabwe, and trade it off for a 12 months contract. Yeah. So at that time I had to call upon a little bit of my financial mathematics and do a bit of my cost benefit analysis. And I thought just taking up this 12 months contract was perhaps more valuable than keeping a permanent position whose earnings were actually losing value day in, day out.
By the hour, if I remember.
By the hour.
Hyperinflation.
Hyperinflation.
It was a particularly difficult time for everyone.
So I took up a position as a fixed-term contract, but of course, within the same year, I was appointed on a permanent contract, and so then I realized that scanning around my internal environment at the university, I realized that I needed to upskill. So a few 2 years down the line, I enrolled for a doctoral degree. Which I completed in 2015.
Wow.
And then 6 months down the line, I was appointed as an associate professor. And then another 2 years further, I was appointed as a full professor.
Wow.
So that is as far as my career background is concerned, and transitioning from a corporate banker to an academic at the University of South Africa.
And well done, and congratulations, not only for yourself, but as we come from a hopelessly ethnic minority, I would like to say